dark.
What's up, guys? Jason Lohr here with Jason Lohr Photography and Film. So today we're going to be talking about the Canon EOS R and if it's still worth it in 2023. Okay, so first things first is going to be on the price. So right now it's listed at $16.99 for just the body camera itself. Yes, that is still a bit pricey, but then there are other expensive cameras out there as well. There are some other mirrorless cameras in the Canon R series that you can actually purchase as well, like the RP, then the R7 and the R10 and the soon-to-be R8 that's coming out. But the thing is that the reason why I love the Canon EOS R is the fact that it has 30 megapixels, which really does play a role as far as, like, you know, the quality of the photos are. I've done a lot of landscapes, I've done a lot of portrait photographies, and it's just been giving me some really awesome photos, and I haven't been disappointed yet. And thanks to that 30 megapixels, I'm able to print out big photos, or also just be able to crop into the photos and still have that perfectly clear resolution because of that 30 megapixels. So it does go a long way when it comes down to quality wise. I've also been doing a lot of food photography too, and I've been able to get a lot of great shots. And again, because of that 30 megapixels, I'm able to either zoom into the food or just crop into the photos as I'm editing it, and I still have some really great quality shots of, you know, the food itself. So it's definitely a big plus for all you food photographers out there as well. Now, another thing I'm going to be getting into this year too is sports photography. So whether it be football, basketball, or soccer, or even martial arts, a lot of like quick movement. So that would mean having like a really fast burst of like photos to be able to capture those moments. Now, being able to shoot that many photos per second, that's actually pretty impressive for even the Canon EOS R. Now, I know one of the issues with the EOS R when it first started was just the face tracking. Now, thankfully, the newer cameras nowadays, you are actually able to update the firmware on the camera itself. So it's almost like a computer and a, you know, a cell phone, where you have updates to where it will improve the software or improve the camera itself. So now the face tracking on this has been working really great. Like, I can step up close to the camera right now and it'll instantly focus right on my face and keeps track of my face, as you can see, and that's pretty impressive. Now, for those of you guys who were using EF lenses like I did, the great news is that Canon did release some lens adapters to where you can actually use your EF lens on the Canon EOS R, as well as like the rest of the EOS R series that are coming out. So that means that your lenses are still you know, valuable, and they can still work really well. I've used my old EF 24 to 70 millimeter 2.8 on the EOS R and still was able to pull out some really amazing shots with it. So definitely keep that in mind. If you do have EF lenses, that doesn't mean you can't use them on the EOS R. So long as you have that lens adapter, you can still make use of it. So now let's go ahead and jump into one of my favorite parts, is videos. With the Canon EOS R, you can shoot up to 24 to 30 frames per second in 4K. As far as like the 1080p or full HD, you can shoot from 24 to 30 to 60 frames per second. So the thing that I do like about this camera is the fact that it can shoot at 24 frames per second at 4K, because, you know, knowing me, I went to school for filmmaking, and, you know, I love doing filmmaking, and one of the things that gives that video that cinematic quality look is the frames per second, which is 24 frames per second. So just being able to do that, that's already, you know, sold for me. I do wish that it could go up to like more than, you know, at least 60 to 100 frames per second, which is what the R5 can do. But again, am I really going to be doing a lot of slow motion videos? Not really that much. So that's why I was able to just save up a lot more money and just go with the camera that can do what I need, which is 24 frames per second. This video is actually being filmed on my second EOS R with a 24-70 millimeter lens. So just take a look at the quality and let me know what you guys think too, as far as like 24 frames per second at 4K goes. So that's a little sample right there for you guys. As far as like videos goes, I've been doing a lot of YouTube videos with the Canon EOS R, and so far I've been getting a lot of compliments of like just the video quality of it. So I'm very happy about that. I have done some videography as well, and so far the videos have turned out really great. So as much as I love this camera, I can't go without saying that there could have been some improvement to it. As far as like photography goes, I would have loved it if they would add a second SD card slot in here, just so that way you can use two SD cards. So if you're in the middle of a photo shoot and one of the card goes bad or gets corrupted, you at least have a second SD card to fall back on, so that way you can keep shooting your photos. I mean, so far I haven't had any issues with like the card getting corrupted. I mean, knock on wood, we keep going with that. So I'm actually, not letting that bother me too much. But for some of you photographers out there who have experienced that or are trying to avoid that, this might be a deal breaker for you guys. Now, as far as like video goes, well, like I said, I really wish it could have gone more up to like at least 60 frames per second in 4K, but again, you're only going to get 24 and 30 frames per second in 4K. The rest can be done through full HD, which is 1080p, but we're already at 8K right now, so it's like to having to shoot things at 1080p still, it's like it may be a deal breaker too, because after seeing what 4K looks like, it's hard to go back to 1080p. Like I said, I'm enjoying shooting at 24 frames per second because it gives my videos that cinematic look, so it's absolutely fine for me. But if you're looking to shoot like slow motion videos at 4K, then this is probably not the video camera that you want to be using. Now, another issue that I had with this camera when it comes down to videos is that when you're shooting at 4K, regardless of 24 or 30 frames per second, you're going to get a crop in the video. So the crop factor of that is going to be 1.7, and what that means is now you're going to have to adjust the camera or adjust yourself. So meaning if you want more stuff in the background or in the room in frame, you're gonna have to move the camera back a little bit, or you yourself have to move back in order to be able to get the rest of your body into the frame. All right, guys, thanks for watching again. Hope you guys liked the video. I hope you guys found it helpful. I just want to keep it short and simple and straight to the point of why this is the camera that I would recommend and why I still use to this day. And if you guys have any more questions about the Canon EOS R, definitely let me know in the comments below. And if you guys want to check out more of my work too, you can find them on my social media network. And speaking of, if you guys haven't done so, definitely click on that subscribe button. That way you guys can get more notifications on updates and events that I'll be a part of. But until then, guys, this is Jason Lore with Jason Lore Photography and Films, bringing art, stories, and entertainment